This is Lake Okeechobee. It's the second largest lake wholly within the United States. It's 30 miles by 33 miles. It's the liquid heart of the Everglades. Recreation, human health, ecosystem restoration, all tied to clean water coming from the lake. And it is subject to algae blooms, and those algae blooms are sometimes problems. So today we're going to drop down a little core into the sediments. We're going to get that sediment layer and we're going to get the water above it to bring back to the laboratory to look and see what organisms are there, what we can see under the microscope. I'm Barry Howard Rosen. I am a professor in the water school at Florida Gulf Coast University, and my mission is to help understand these cyanobacteria and figure out what is triggering them to bloom.
Water in Southwest Florida connects everything. You know, people move here because it's paradise. It is the weather, it is the beaches, it is the fishing and boating in the rivers. And so we need a healthy and safe environment to be able to do that. That all gets put at risk when there's a harmful algal bloom. They're smelly, they make it an uncomfortable place to be, and these things produce toxins.
Neurotoxins and liver toxins. We've seen cattle death, we've seen wildlife death, very little on the human side, but it's just a matter of time because these blooms are getting worse. Pull up water. That's crazy. That's a lot of bloom. There's bloom material all throughout this column. There could be a massive bloom developing perilously close to the Caloosahatchee.
That Caloosahatchee River runs all the way down here to Fort Myers, which dumps into the Gulf of Mexico, which is surrounded by wetlands.
And there it can meet some quiet waters in people's backyards and the little canals. Then the algae can get so thick that it eventually dies. And then you have oxygen depletion. So you can have massive fish kills in these smaller canal systems.
All environmental decisions are social decisions. So harmful algal blooms impact property values. It threatens the economy in a really serious way.
Algae blooms are a natural part of the environment. How much of this is natural versus augmented by humans is still unknown. When you fertilize your lawns and that water runs off into the canal system, you're giving it food. They need the same nutrients you'd feed a plant. We believe there's 50,000 tons of phosphorus in the bottom of this lake. That is probably not a natural occurrence.
While many of the impacts, of course, are being created by humans, it's because they're being created by humans that we are also the solution.
Ever since I was really little, I've been on the water, wakeboarding or kneeboarding, kayaking. All of my recreation, when I'm not in the lab, I'm pretty much on the water. Going and getting the sample yourself, you know where it came from, you know what it looked like when you took it. To go through that full process is a lot more exciting. Get back to the lab and see what we can get out of these samples, get them going in the aerosolization chamber, and maybe extract some DNA for toxins as well.
This is a device that we developed that is meant to create aerosols, little microscopic bubbles coming off of an algae bloom. And they flow into this chamber on the left over here. It's meant to simulate a lung. And with that, we can begin to understand what happens when we breathe in aerosols. It is a totally different dimension because you're going in and looking way beyond what you can normally see.
It's something that not a lot of people see or really think about when they go to a lake. It's these teeny tiny little things that I care about. Feels like they need more of our recognition.
Other people have to see this. They have to understand it. They have to know that, hey, it's not as simple as blue-green algae blooms. These are having other functions. Understanding water is critical.
Good water is water that is not just supporting human activities, but that is maintaining and contributing to resilient ecosystems.
Nice, healthy community of organisms feeds the higher forms of life. It feeds the invertebrates, which feed the fish.
We need that holistic view of the environment, of the ecosystem, for all organisms to be functioning properly. That's how we are also going to be the healthiest.
Here at the water school, people are working across disciplines to teach and explain this to the next generation.
What I want that next generation to know is that there are still so many solutions to be found.
This is the tip of the iceberg of what can be done.
I want folks to truly understand and believe that all of us can create and implement solutions that will make the world a better place.